In the third year after transmigrating into a book and marrying the devoted male supporting character, Jiang Wangshan personally brought me poison to save the female lead. He said, "Jian Shuang, this poison is fake. As long as we get the antidote and save Xianyun, I'll petition for an imperial title for you." I smiled bitterly, took it, and fed it right back to him. He must have forgotten that I know medicine, and I'm quite skilled at it too. Poisoning someone in front of a physician and claiming the poison is fake. How utterly ridiculous. See, how could nothing be wrong? He is already foaming at the mouth. Good thing I didn't take it, or how ugly would that be? Jian Shuang, hurry and release me. This medicine really is harmless. Once Xianyun is saved, everything will be fine. Shen Wangshan was immobilized by a single needle from me. His mouth kept urging me to let him go. The drug took effect quickly. His veins bulged, blood flowed from his nose and mouth, and he stared at me with bloodshot eyes. I felt no fear at all, squatted down, and watched him struggle in agony. He finally couldn't stay calm and said to me anxiously, "Jian Shuang, I have an antidote in my chest to temporarily suppress the toxicity for you. I really didn't mean to hurt you." I took out a jade porcelain bottle from his chest. It was exclusively supplied by the Imperial Medical Bureau. At the same time, a ruby gilt filigree butterfly tail hairpin fell to the ground. I picked it up and found it familiar. Sure enough, on one of the petals of the hairpin, I saw a tiny character Bai San. It belonged to Bai Xianyun. I looked mockingly at Shen Wangshan, whose eyes were now nearly splitting with rage. "How infatuated you really are for her sake. Even knowing I'm carrying your child, you still poisoned me." Shen Wangshan growled agitatedly. "I won't let you hurt her. She doesn't know anything. I did everything. If you have a problem, come at me." I scoffed, and fed him the pills from the bottle. "Of course I'm coming for you. Bai Xianyun is my ticket to wealth and glory in the future. Why would I hurt her?" Shen Wangshan didn't know what I was thinking, and looked at me in shock, not understanding what I was trying to do. But soon the pain in his body eased, and he calmed down to apologize to me. "I'm sorry. Jian Shuang." I held him, took out silver needles from my sleeve, and then inserted them into his major acupoints. When Shen Wangshan's eyes went crooked and mouth twisted as if he had a stroke, stammering and unable to say a complete sentence, only then did I smile in satisfaction. Someone come. Something happened to Wangshan. The news spread that Shen Wangshan had personally tested medicine to cure the current empress's poison. I looked heartbroken at Shen Wangshan now with a crooked mouth and twisted eyes, paralyzed in bed. I leaned in and whispered in his ear, "Husband, if I were to obtain the antidote, should I give it to you? Or to the Empress?" I looked at the devoted second male lead like a true villainess. The female lead, who is the current Empress, Bai Xianyun, blocked an assassin's sword for the Emperor. Who knew the sword was poisoned? Now she is in a coma. The imperial physician was helpless. Only Master Wu Wang on Fahua Mountain could cure the poison. But Master Wu Wang was a consort from the previous dynasty, and the one she hated most was the Empress Dowager, who forced her to become a nun. How could she possibly save her enemy's daughter, Zan in Zan Law? Shen Wangshan thought of me, his wife who was raised by Master Wu Wang since childhood. To make sure Master Wu Wang would intervene, he made his move on me, regardless of the fact that I was already carrying his child. Now the plot has entered its final stage, just waiting for Shen Wangshan to kneel and beg Master Wu Wang for 3 days and nights. Get the antidote and save Bai Xianyun. The male lead realizes his true feelings and lives with the female lead Bai Xianyun as a devoted couple for life. The second male lead guards my memorial tablet, rises to become prime minister, assists the female lead's son to ascend the throne. The end. What a beautiful redemption romance. What a heartbreaking second male lead. Looking at the second male lead paralyzed in bed from my few needle strikes, I unconsciously rubbed my belly. This child was obtained through my careful scheming. The good days have just begun. How could I be willing to just die like this? My son, what happened to you? What on earth is going on? My mother Xian and Xianlaw barged in, asking me what happened. Finally here. I've been waiting for this day for a long time. Lifting my head, I cried uncontrollably. It is all my fault. If only I wasn't pregnant. I could have taken this suffering for my husband. My mother Xian and Xianlaw heard my words, looked over my belly, both shocked and delighted. After helping me up, she then realized something was wrong with what I said. Without waiting for her to ask, I recited every detail of the lines I had rehearsed countless times in my mind. My husband and Her Majesty, the Empress, were childhood sweethearts, deeply in love. Now that Her Majesty is bedridden with illness, he is very worried. After learning that Master Wuwang could cure the poison, he wanted to make me drink the same poison, so that Master Wuwang would take action. How could Mother Xian and Xianlaw not know her son's thoughts? It is just that when she learned her son had actually come up with such a bastard scheme, she still couldn't help but slam the table. Bastard. I smiled bitterly and shook my head. Mother, I don't blame my husband, wiping away the tears I had worked so hard to squeeze out. I continued, it is all my fault. When I found out I was pregnant, I couldn't wait to tell my husband. After he found out, he drank that poison himself. If I had known, I wouldn't have said anything. I threw myself on Mother Xian and Xianlaw's lap and wailed loudly. Mother Xian and Xianlaw comforted me with heartache. Good child, don't cry. Wang Shan brought this on himself. You're a good child. It is the Shen family who has wronged you. Shen Wangshan watched me twist black into white, whimpering and wailing. I stopped my tears and stuck a few more needles into him. I naturally wasn't trying to cure his poison, nor did I have that ability. These needles I inserted could keep him conscious. I just wanted him to experience the feeling of being poisoned while fully conscious, being generous with other people's lives at others' expense. Xian, how could that be acceptable? Yeshuang, what are you? Mother Xian and Xianlaw knew my medical skills were impressive, and thought Shen Wangshan could be saved. I immediately explained Xian. It wouldn't be good if there was a misunderstanding. I have limited abilities. The poison my husband drank is the same as what Her Majesty the Empress took. Even with all my effort, I can only keep him conscious like this. I'm useless. You don't need to blame yourself. You've already done very well. My mother Xian and Xianlaw secretly cursed Bai Xianyun in her heart, calling her a vixen who caused her son to be poisoned. She didn't suspect at all that I was lying. Well, Shen Wangshan was willing to marry me. Someone who came out of the royal nunnery just to protect Bai Xianyun's reputation. What wouldn't he do? I pursed my lips, pretending not to know my mother Xian in Xianlaw's thoughts, and deliberately took out that ruby-gilt filigree butterfly Xiantail hairpin. This fell from my husband's body when I was getting the medicine just now. I didn't expect he still kept this. Seeing this hairpin, my mother Xian in Xianlaw believed my words even more. Looking at Shen Wangshan lying paralyzed on the bed, she was so angry that she snapped the hairpin in half. It was also at this moment that I suddenly remembered Xian this hairpin was actually the matchmaker between me and Shen Wangshan. Back when the male lead was still a prince, he gave this hairpin to Bai Xianyun. Later, when the two were attacked at Fahua Mountain, this hairpin was lost, and Bai Xianyun was very upset. After Shen Wangshan, that simp, found out, he went to look for it, but ended up getting injured by the assassins who had returned. That is when I saved him. I took meticulous care of him for a month. He was very moved, and even proposed to me. By then, I already knew he was the devoted second male lead from the novel I read before bed. I hesitated, but looking into his sincere eyes, I still chose to believe him, and excitedly accepted his proposal. Even though he didn't give me anything, and it wasn't romantic at all, I still blushed with anticipation, thinking about our future life together. I thought I had transmigrated here just to meet him, just to change his fate, and give him happiness. But it turns out it was all just my wishful thinking. On our wedding day, I simply wore a red dress and married him. The next day, I got up early to prepare food for him. When I went to call him, he was arguing with my mother Jan in Zanlaw, and only then did I learn that I was just a shield for Xianyun. Xianyun wanted to marry the male lead, but she had an engagement with him, and she begged him desperately. She said, "I only see you as a brother." Shen Wangshan felt sorry for her. To fulfill Xianyun's wish to marry the male lead, he not only broke off the engagement privately, but also took all the blame upon himself. He even publicly claimed that he had fallen for me, an orphan girl born in the royal temple, that he would marry no one but me. From that moment on, I knew. I had never entered his heart. He had never liked me either. 3 years passed, and Shen Wangshan, who once said he would live a good life with me and forget Xianyun, actually wanted to poison me. As for me, amid the cold violence that grew worse day by day, I learned to love myself and let go of him, this devoted second male lead. When Xianyun was poisoned and needed Master Woawang's antidote, I knew the plot from the novel had finally come. I had given him a chance. After all, even if I didn't have love for him, he had given me a life of wealth and glory. Even in modern times, a husband like Shen Wangshan, who gives money but is never home, is rare. I just consider him to be earning money to support me. In this ancient era, as soon as I arrived, I had servants at my beck and call. It is countless times better than those hard days at Fahua Mountain. I should be grateful to him. So, I found an opportunity to tell him about my pregnancy. In the novel, Shen Wangshan didn't know the supporting female character was pregnant when he poisoned her. After finding out, he was filled with regret and never married for the rest of his life. I thought for the child's sake, he would show mercy. Unfortunately, he still disappointed me in the end. He didn't even spare the child, just for a chance to confirm whether Master Wu Wang would intervene. I completely lost all expectations for him, and vengefully forced and fed him the poison he sent with my own hands. Thinking about it now, things really have changed. Could you go and beg Master Wu Wang to help? Mother Danin Zanlaw shamelessly made this request. Everyone knows that back then, I married Shen Wangshan despite Master Wu Wang's attempts to make me stay. Now how could I have the face to go beg? In the end, I still nodded reluctantly. For Wangshan's sake, I'll go try. Mother Danin Zanlaw breathed a sigh of relief. This must be hard for you. Don't worry. Once Wangshan wakes up, I'll definitely make him treat you well. As she spoke, Mother Danin Zanlaw put the imperial green jade bracelet she had worn for years onto my wrist. This was the symbol of the mistress of the Shen household. Looking at the jade bracelet, I knew this whole act wasn't performed in vain. Before leaving, I specifically gave Shen Wangshan several needle pricks to prevent him from speaking clearly. Although even if he told the truth, my mother Danin Zanlaw wouldn't believe him. Even if they investigated, they would only find that the poison was prepared by Shen Wangshan. But having read novels for so many years, details determine success or failure. Prevention is better than cure. I don't want to fail at the last moment. After all, I am the villainess. On the way to Fahua Mountain, I was in a very good mood. Master Wu Wang appears to be my adoptive mother on the surface, but in reality, she is like me, seriously ill and bound by the system to a villainous character. She didn't complete her task and stayed here. I don't plan to go back either, so I fed Shen Wangshan poison as an eye for an eye. Sis, I came to see you. I arrived at Fahua Mountain, carrying bags big and small. I sent away the people following me, put down the stuff, and pulled her off the bed. Wu Wang saw me, rubbed her eyes, and immediately woke up. Holy shit, why are you back? Did that bastard Shen Wangshan kick you out? I waved my hand and leaned back in the chair smugly. How could that be? He is lying paralyzed in bed from my needle prick. I touched my still very flat belly, eating pastries, and said unrestrained, I came here today to get that antidote. When the time comes, after saving by Xianyun, the plot ends, and I'll bring you to the Shen residence. Then we'll enjoy wealth and glory together. I patted my chest and gently rubbed my belly. Once the one in my belly is born, the Shen manor will be ours to rule. Wu Wang didn't expect that I actually fulfilled what I promised her. 3 years ago, when I decided to marry Shen Wangshan, Wu Wang wasn't optimistic about this relationship. She said, "The reason a devoted male supporting character is called a devoted male supporting character is because he is devoted to the female lead. If he could fall for someone else so easily, then he wouldn't be called a devoted male supporting character." She said, "Shen Wangshan's eyes are glued to Bai Xianyun. He must have ulterior motives for proposing to you," she said. "Even I, an outsider, can see that he doesn't like you. If you marry him, you won't be happy." She also advised me over and over, and even told me about what she had experienced. That was when I found out she was also a villainous supporting character. The male and female leads in her novel were the late emperor and the current empress dowager. She truly loved the late emperor. For his sake, she nearly lost her life several times. Yet she still ended up being confined at Fahua Temple as a nun. She didn't want me to repeat her mistakes. What did I say back then? I can't quite remember. It has only been 3 years, yet it feels like such a long time has passed. Maybe it is the terrible marriage that made every day feel like a year. Or maybe too many boring plot events happened, making me feel weary. Wu Wang gave me a thumbs up, genuinely admiring me. "You're really impressive. You're better than me. If I could have thought things through back then, maybe I wouldn't be stuck here." She took out some pastries and ate them very happily. "You're not really going to poke him with a needle and try to get rid of the father but keep the child, are you? Be careful. Don't get caught." Wu Wang was worried and reminded me. I trust the skills she taught me. Wu Wang's identity is the granddaughter of the Imperial Medical Bureau's director, and she transmigrated as a fetus, growing up surrounded by herbs since childhood. Her medical skills were on par with her grandfather's by 15. Her craft is top Zan notch. Unfortunately, she is a bit of a love Jan brain. If she were as ruthless as me, the male lead might not have been born. Oh, I remember now. Back then I said, "Don't worry, I'm not love Jan-brained. If he dares treat me badly, I'll poke him with a needle." I said, "Marrying anyone is still marrying. Men are all the same anyway." Shen Wangshan is rich and powerful, good Zen looking, even if he doesn't like me. Marrying him won't be a loss. I said, "In modern times, men cheating is so common. Worst case, I'll get rid of the father but keep the child. When he is gone, I'll still have his wealth and glory." I didn't expect that in just 3 years, my words would come true. Men, turns out. I saw through the true nature of men this early on. Wu Wang, having eaten and drunk her fill, took my pulse. "Your body has no major issues. By the time you give birth, I'll probably be enjoying myself at your residence. With me here, I guarantee you'll have a smooth delivery." She was quite confident. Thinking of something, her face became a bit uneasy. "By the way, let me see the Hihuan powder you prepared." I blushed at her words, embarrassedly wrote it down for her. "Hiss. Damn, you really aren't afraid of Shen Wangshan dying in your bed," I said embarrassedly, but without the slightest hint of remorse. "It is just that I was afraid it wouldn't work. If I didn't get pregnant, wouldn't all that effort have been for nothing? And then, if we had to adopt an heir, that would be another huge pile of troublesome matters." Wu Wang was speechless, just kept giving me a thumbs up. 3 days passed, and Wu Wang was finally moved by my persistence and agreed to go down the mountain. The male lead had received the news and had already planted people in the Shen residence. As soon as I got off the carriage, I saw several unfamiliar faces. Mother Jianinjianlaw's expression was poor, as if she was trying hard to restrain herself. "Mother, what happened?" I sensed something was wrong and looked at her with concern. Mother Jianinjianlaw shook her head without speaking, only showing a slight smile when she saw Wu Wang behind me. "You must be Master Wu Wang. Please quickly check on Wangshan. He has had no energy these past few days." Wu Wang casually glanced at me. No need to look. It was my doing. After taking his pulse, Wu Wang sighed and took out a bottle of medicine from her robe, her eyes full of regret. I never thought beauty's intoxication would resurface. This is the last antidote pill my grandfather left behind. Even I cannot make it, Madam Shen. You, Mother Zan in Zanlaw, knew about beauty's intoxication. Back when Wu Wang was still Consort D, she was imprisoned at Fahua Mountain on suspicion of poisoning. The specific circumstances, she didn't know at the time either. Only that all evidence pointed to Wu Wang. Fortunately, in the end, only the poison Zan tasting palace maid died. And the poison Wu Wang allegedly used was beauty's intoxication. The head of the Imperial Medical Bureau didn't believe his granddaughter would poison anyone, so he resigned to research this antidote. No wonder the imperial physician said Wu Wang might have the antidote. Madame Shen didn't have time to think carefully about the secrets of the previous dynasty. She quickly stepped forward and held the medicine in her hand. She poured it out and was about to stuff it into Shen Wangshan's mouth. But unfortunately, the maid beside her was one step faster. Before everyone could react, she had already snatched that pill from Madame Shen's hands, then quickly ran out. I had long anticipated this scene. I eagerly looked at Shen Wangshan, who was still conscious, and watched his only antidote being snatched away with his own eyes, feeling incredibly satisfied inside. My mother, Zan in Zanlaw, chased after her unwillingly. When she saw the emperor appearing in the courtyard, her anxious heart finally gave up hope. As a good daughter, Zan in Zanlaw, and good wife, who cares about my husband and mother, Zan in Zanlaw, I naturally was also concerned about the whereabouts of this medicine, so I followed and chased out. Seeing the male lead, I knelt down and pleaded desperately. "Greetings to your majesty. I beg your majesty to return the antidote. That young Madam Shen, please rise. You and Minister Shen shared deep affection and loyalty. Now that you're willing to offer up the antidote, I am deeply moved. I hereby bestow upon Lu Yueshuang the title of First Jan Rank Noble Lady." Shen Wangshan was willing to risk his life to save the Empress, so I hereby bestow upon him the title of Earl of Yong'an, hereditary and irreplaceable. The Emperor didn't wait for me to speak and immediately issued the decree. I was ecstatic inside. See, even without Shen Wangshan, this noble lady title still landed on my head. Relying on others is worse than relying on yourself. Luckily, I came to my senses quickly, and thanks to Shen Wangshan's deep affection for waking me up. It took me a lot of effort to control the corners of my mouth from curling up. I looked at my mother, Zan in Zanlaw. Luckily, she didn't notice. My mother, Zan in Zanlaw, was completely out of it. After watching helplessly as the male lead left with the antidote, she remained motionless. My heart skipped a beat. Mother Zan in Zanlaw absolutely can't have anything happen to her right now. She still needs to shield me from the storm. I clutched my stomach and started crying out. My stomach, it hurts so much. My mother Zan in Zanlaw's only hope now is this belly of mine. Startled, she immediately snapped back to her senses. The sadness from just now was replaced by worry. She couldn't even be bothered to comfort Shen Wangshan. All her attention was on me. I was fine to begin with. Wu Wang just casually wrote a prescription for pregnancy protection. My mother, Zan in Zanlaw, took the prescription and went to personally supervise the medicine preparation. Still worried, only Wu Wang and I were left in the room. I'm sorry, I didn't expect Shen Wangshan to be poisoned by Hongyan Zui. I originally thought I could save him with my medical skills. I was surprised by her words. I didn't expect she still had thoughts of saving that scumbag. Words came out of my mouth without thinking. Why would you save him? If he lives, how am I supposed to keep up this act? Wu Wang also didn't expect me to be this ruthless, and said to me disapprovingly, "He is still your child's father after all. Even if you don't want to be with him, you should think about the child." I was impatient, listening to her nagging. What I hate the most is, "For the sake of the child, you should do this or that." This immediately reminded me of my childhood. All right, so what if I become a widow? I can raise the child on my own. Not to mention, I now have an imperial title. I won't have to worry about anything in the future. Wu Wang was relentless. This is different. If the child finds out you harmed Shen Wangshan, he will thank me. I cut her off. Besides, as long as you don't say anything, he'll never know. Killing intent flashed in my eyes. I could tell Wu Wang was angry, so I had to explain. She had helped me a lot since I transmigrated here. I didn't want to be at odds with her. So I told her about my childhood before transmigrating Xian, something I had never spoken of before. My dad had a first love. She was his white moonlight. When drunk, my dad once said that if it weren't for me, he would have been with his white moonlight. So he took out all his anger on me and my mom. Every time I was beaten, I hoped my mom would take me and leave. But my mom just loved my dad. Even though my dad treated her terribly and drank and beat her, I felt sorry for my mom. My mom said, "This is all for you. Kids without fathers are pitiful." I didn't understand. I just knew that being beaten by my dad really hurt. I'd rather have no father than be beaten. I told her this, and my mom cursed me for being ungrateful, saying I couldn't stand to see her happy. As I got older, I even started to resent my mom for not standing up for herself. So when my dad beat my mom, I stopped protecting her. I just hoped she could toughen up and take me away. Even if she left by herself, leaving this home would be fine too. Unfortunately, my mom still would rather get beaten than agree. Later, my dad still cheated, but the one he cheated with wasn't that white moonlight. The ridiculous thing is that the money he used to wine and dine that woman outside was still given by my mom. Watching all this, I just felt it was like a farce. At that time, I thought more than once. Maybe if my dad died, we mother and daughter would live a bit better. You don't need to worry that the child will envy others for having a dad in the future. If Shen Wangshan were alive, cherishing and putting all his energy on the female lead by Xianyun, like the novel described, even on the female lead's child, I think my child would probably would rather this dad of hers was dead. This is from my personal experience. Wu Wang didn't expect my childhood would be like this, stammering and unable to say anything. She thought about it carefully. If Shen Wangshan really survived, perhaps my life really wouldn't be as good as if he died. She stopped talking. I knew she was soft and hearted, so I continued to comfort her. All right, you don't need to overthink it. I didn't ask the imperial physician for that poison. He even wanted to harm me to save Bai Xianyun. I was merely giving him a taste of his own medicine. Besides, I also asked for the antidote for him. It is just that the antidote was taken by the male lead. You can't produce a second antidote either. This is his fate. Originally, this was my fate. Now it is more fitting for Shen Wangshan to have it. I could clearly feel that Wu Wang's mood had improved a lot. Mother Jian in Jian Law brought the medicine over at this moment, and only then did we end this topic. Wu Wang is indeed a healer with a benevolent heart, just too soft, Jian-hearted. She wrote several prescriptions for my mother Jian in Jian Law to ease Shen Wangshan's suffering. I stayed at the Shen residence to focus on my pregnancy, but the peace didn't last long. That day, the sun was bright. I was chatting with Wu Wang, laughing happily. Bai Xianyun barged in. She was fuming, pointing at my nose and cursing. "Lu Yushwang, brother Wangshan, is bedridden. How can you still laugh?" I turned around speechlessly. The smile on my face froze, and I stood up to bow. "Greetings, Your Majesty, the Empress. Perhaps Your Majesty is overstepping, even meddling with whether I can laugh in my own home. I was really fed up with this female lead. Before, I always thought Shen Wangshan might have a change of heart, afraid of leaving an impression of being a bully in his mind, plus the inequality in status, so I always gave way to her. Did she really think I was afraid of her? Bai Xianyun didn't expect that I, who was usually quiet and would apologize even when scolded to my face, suddenly became sharp and tongued. For a moment, she couldn't even react. "How bold, Madam Shen. You dare to talk back to the Empress. Watch me teach you a lesson and show you the rules." The palace maid following behind her was very perceptive. raising her hand while speaking and swinging it toward my face. Wu Wang was beside me. She was a consort of the late emperor. Although she had become a nun at Fahua Mountain, her title had not been stripped. So she did not bow to Xianyun, this empress. Now seeing someone hitting me, I immediately grabbed the needle and stabbed at the person coming at me. The palace maid cried out in pain. "How dare you hurt me, Your Highness? You must stand up for me." Only then did I see clearly that the palace maid was Rongkui, the personal senior maid who used to serve by Xianyun's side. Rongkui, relying on Xianyun's favor, always looked at me with disdain. If I didn't know she liked Shen Wangshan, I would almost suspect she was ordered by Xianyun to humiliate me. The frost Dan patterned bracelet she was wearing now was originally given to me by Shen Wangshan, just to appease me, but it was snatched away by her. Later, every time she saw me, she would deliberately show off her wrist. Now that it was all red and swollen there, I felt much better inside. "You guards, seize both of them for me." Xianyun put on the airs of an empress and confronted me. I wasn't scared at all, rubbing my belly and smiling. "Your Highness, I am after all your savior. Even His Majesty has praised me greatly. If you treat me like this, I'm afraid it won't be good for your reputation if word gets out." The smugness in my eyes was not hidden at all, and Xianyun naturally saw it clearly. She had never taken me seriously. Now being provoked by me, she was naturally furious. It was Brother Wangshan who saved me. What kind of savior are you supposed to be? Oh, really, I didn't care at all. Xianyun, having lost face, angrily shouted at the palace maids behind her. "Can't this palace command you anymore? Hurry up and seize those two for this palace." Rongkui looked at her own red and swollen hands. After receiving the order, she immediately rushed towards Wu Wang. I had people block them and shouted. Master Wu Wang was a consort of the late emperor, and still holds a title. I'd like to see who dares to touch her. Not far away, I inadvertently glimpsed a group of people hurrying over. The panic in my heart from just now immediately dissipated. "Hold it, I'd like to see who dares." Mother Jan Injan Law stood in front of me as if facing a great enemy, her eyes fixed on Xianyun. "Aunt Shen, Lu Yashuang is really too much. Brother Wangshan is lying half-dead dead on the bed, yet she can still laugh." I hid behind my mother, Zan in Zanlaw, looking overly frightened, which made her very worried. "Your Highness misunderstands. The imperial physician said my depressed mood was bad for my health, so I forced a smile, wanting Mother to focus on taking care of Wangshan without worry. I covered my eyes, my voice choked with sobs. Wangshan is poisoned. I feel terrible watching. Mother Jianin Zanlaw thought about how her son was poisoned because of Xianyun, and the antidote I begged for was snatched away and given to her instead, making her seethe with anger. Now she is even turning the tables. Does she want the Shen family to have no heirs before she is satisfied? Thinking of this, she couldn't hide the fierce look in her eyes. Xianyun anxiously pointed at me. "You're lying," forcing a smile. "I saw you were overjoyed. Aunt Shen, I think Lu Yueshuang is just enough. Wangshan ended up like this all because of you. I don't want to see you, please, Empress. Leave the Shen residence." Mother Jianin Zanlaw cut her off, suppressing the urge to curse, afraid of doing something rude. Right now, she couldn't afford to offend Xianyun. In the few days since Xianyun woke up, she had been pampered endlessly by the male lead, who granted her every wish. Now that she still hadn't seen Shen Wangshan, she naturally wasn't willing to leave. She softened her tone. "Auntie, I came to thank Brother Wangshan. Don't worry, I'll definitely ask the Emperor to find a second antidote." "Don't worry. How can I not worry? You took the only antidote. Unless a second one appears immediately, it is hard to say whether Wangshan can even survive until tomorrow." Mother Jianin Zanlaw couldn't take it anymore. She grabbed Xianyun's sleeve tightly, trembling as she questioned her. I couldn't let anything happen to Xianyun, so I hurried over and pulled the two apart. "Mother, calm down. The Empress is also worried about my husband. If my husband sees that the Empress is healthy and well, he'll probably feel better. And maybe his body will improve a bit too, so he can hold on a little longer. I didn't even expect Shen Wangshan could hold on this long. Counting the days, he has lasted 2 days longer than ordinary people. I suspect he is just hanging on by a thread waiting for her. This counts as fulfilling his dying wish. If he dies, he should be able to rest in peace. Mother Xianyun, not sure if she agreed with my view, nodded weakly in agreement. Xianyun didn't expect Shen Wangshan's condition to be this serious. She had never thought he would die young, especially since Shen Wangshan died for her. Her heart began to panic for no reason. Her steps grew larger and larger. I slowly followed behind. By the time I reached the courtyard, I heard my mother Xianyun's mournful wails. Xianyun, you're nothing but a jinx. It is all because of you that Wangshan. Get out of here, Auntie, I didn't do anything. I never expected things to turn out this way. I looked at Wu Wang in shock. No way, is it really that accurate when Xianyun came earlier? I did laugh, and I laughed quite happily, because Wu Wang said Shen Wangshan wouldn't survive tonight. They say promotion and fortune come when your wife dies. Actually, it is the same for women. This is wonderful news, so it is normal for me to laugh out loud, right? Wu Wang looked at me speechlessly. Don't laugh so happily. People who don't know might think you really wanted Shen Wangshan dead. But I did want him dead. I just didn't expect it to be so coincidental. Even the heavens are helping me. Watching Xianyun crying her eyes out, I wonder if she even got to see Shen Wangshan one last time. Ronqi blocked between the two with her red and swollen hands, still yelling, "Old Madam Shen. Our Lady has always treated the Earl of Yong'an as a brother. How could she harm him? This has nothing to do with Our Lady. It was Earl Shen's fate. You can't blame others." I knew the chance for revenge had come. I went up and pushed Ronqi down, lifted my skirt and kicked her hard several times. Satisfying. "Pah, how dare you hit Wu Wang. Just watch me teach you a lesson." In the end, it was my mother Xianyun, who was afraid something would happen to the child in my belly and grabbed me around the waist. With just my mother Xianyun alone, she was nearly thrown out by me, who had gotten carried away with the beating. Coming to my senses, I pointed at Ronqui's nose and cursed. How my husband's life turns out is not your place to comment on. I know you've always resented that my husband didn't take you as a concubine. Did you tamper with something? Ronqi didn't expect the fire would burn onto her head too. She endured the pain on her body and defended herself. "Lu Yashuang, what nonsense are you spouting? I'm pure and innocent. If this gets out, how am I supposed to get married? You're pure and innocent. Then why is the love lock with mandarin ducks that Wangshan bought for me on you? Why did you snatch the bracelet he gave me? And you still say you didn't turn love into hatred." I stared at the frost-stand patterned bracelet on Ronqui's wrist. "Imp, that is what you get for pissing me off." Ronqi guiltily covered her wrist. Back then, Ronqi used Xianyun to make Shen Wangshan give her many things, and she even jealously snatched the birthday gift Shen Wangshan gave me. The frost-stand patterned bracelet was one of them. I complained about it at the time, but Shen Wangshan called me petty and narrow-minded. He wasn't wrong. I am narrow-minded, so I've held this grudge until now. A gentleman's revenge is never too late, even after 10 years. I believe sooner or later I'll be able to release the frustration from back then. Ronqi didn't dare look at Xianyun. All these things were done on her own accord. Back then, she thought marrying Shen Wangshan was a done deal. Who knew Shen Wangshan would reject her? Just thinking about how she once had Xianyun make the decision, yet still couldn't marry Shen Wangshan. Her heart was filled with resentment. Her eyes looking at me were full of malice. Only then did I remember that after the frost-patterned bracelet was taken away, Xianyun proposed in front of me for Shen Wangshan to take Ronqi as a concubine. My hand unconsciously touched my belly. I only had this opportunity thanks to those two, master and servant. After Shen Wangshan rejected Xianyun, he got drunk that very night, giving me the chance to take advantage. Bai Xianyun was driven out of the Shen family by her mother Zan in Zanlaw. Not long after, rumors spread in the capital that the empress had jinxed Shen Wangshan to death. Everyone sighed endlessly over Shen Wangshan's fate. At the same time, rumors spread that Shen Wangshan loved Bai Xianyun deeply, that the two were mutually in love, but were torn apart by the current emperor. I had a hand in this, and after Mother Zan in Zanlaw found out, she fanned the flames. Eating grapes, listening to the servants, report that Bai Xianyun and the male lead had a dispute over this rumor, and their relationship had cracked. I couldn't help feeling smug inside. Without Shen Wangshan, this devoted second male lead, escorting and protecting her. Let's see how this female lead, Bai Xianyun, can still live so carefree. Suddenly, an electronic sound appeared in my ears. Ding, congratulations to the host for completing all the plot. Plot completion rate 95.5%. Now issuing reward 1 return ticket to the original world. Zan disease detox pill. Please confirm, host. It is the system. How could this be? I never planned to go back from the start. The only reason I followed the plot was for this final moment. And now you're telling me I've completed the mission. This NMD back then when I got cancer, I donated everything I had. Not only that, I also took out every loan I could get. If I go back now, I've got nothing, and I still owe a shitload of debt. What the hell would I even go back for? I asked the system, can I give the return ticket to someone else? System, yes. Say no more, giving it away. My life of glory and riches has just begun. No one can stop me. I found Wu Wang and told her the situation. Wu Wang was ecstatic. She was different from me, and she had parents who loved her, a bright future ahead. There was nothing here worth her staying for. Knowing she could go back, she nodded eagerly. I want to go back. Thank you. By the way, what is your name over there? Is it also Lu Yueshuang? If possible, I'd like to see what you're like over there. Me. I found it a bit hard to say, but I said it in the end. I was afraid no one would collect my body. My name is Wang Lady, at XX Community. Don't say you're my friend, just say you're there to collect a debt. When I knew I was dying, I borrowed a lot of money. Wu Wang, what do you need to borrow money for? I stammered. I just hate how unfair heaven is. I'm gonna die anyway. Might as well live it up before I go. Wu Wang left at night, and I watched her go with my own eyes. I tore the ticket the system gave me, and a small circle appeared. Suddenly, Bai Xianyun appeared and nearly scared the soul out of me. Lu Yueshuang, why are you still here? Did you kill Brother Wangshan? She came at me with a knife. I don't know if she saw the pale circle in the air, but that moment of hesitation left me no time to dodge. Wu Wang ran over, blocked me, got stabbed, and grabbed onto Bai Xianyun tightly. By the time the servants came, Wu Wang had already stopped breathing. I held Wu Wang's body and cried my eyes out. Host, don't worry, Milela has already gone back. She transmigrated as a soul, so naturally she went back the same way. Her body over there is well preserved, so she should be able to leave the hospital soon. The system's words put me at ease. System, thank you. No need to thank me. Her recovery is largely thanks to your all-Zan illness detox pill. What? I was dumbfounded. How come I don't remember giving her that? Whatever. Considering she took care of me, so be it. What is the situation with Bai Xianyun now? Due to the space-time wormhole opening, she was filled with extreme regret, and her soul from her previous life crossed through the wormhole back to the present. I was speechless. TMD wasn't her previous life good enough. She became the Empress Dowager. What the hell does she have to regret? I think she is trying to reach for the heavens. So, what do we do now? The novel's plot has ended. The novel world has detached from the storyline and is now running on its own. Host may dispose of it as you wish. This system will depart from the novel world in 10 seconds. Wishing the host a pleasant life ahead. Sheer. Bah. I knew the system wouldn't come back anymore. I touched my belly and smiled. Bai Xianyun broke into the Shen residence with intent to kill. The late emperor's imperial consort was stabbed to death. Her virtue was compromised. She was unfit to be empress, demoted to Gairen, confined for 3 months, to copy Buddhist scriptures and pray for the deceased imperial consort. I was a bit dissatisfied with the fate Bai Xianyun ended up with. I figured it was the Empress Dowager who protected her. After all, the Empress Dowager saw Wu Wang as a thorn in her side. By the time I was about to give birth, the emperor had already appointed a new empress. That was really fast. It has only been half a year, men. They really are. I shook my head. Now I somewhat understood what Bai Xianyun regretted. Comparing the scumbag male lead who had a change of heart with the devoted second male lead who always loved and supported her, the difference was obvious. If it were me, I'd also regret not cherishing Shen Wangshan. Things turned out just as I thought. The next time I saw Bai Xianyun, it was already in prison. Without Shen Wangshan, she was discovered to have plotted against the empress and harmed the imperial heir, and was sentenced to execution after autumn. Before her death, she strongly demanded to see me. You came back too, didn't you? Why did you have to kill Brother Wangshan? I ended up in this situation all because of you. Why didn't you just die like you did in the previous life? I listened quietly. When she was tired, I asked about what I had always been curious about. What did you come back to do? If I died, would you rekindle your old flame with Shen Wangshan? Or like in your past life, let him cherish and protect you for the rest of your days? Bai Xianyun had been complaining the whole time, but when she heard my question, she froze. The moment she woke up, she was shocked by Shen Wangshan's death, then immediately thought that I might have also come back from the future. She couldn't let me live Jian. I would definitely take revenge on her. Her current situation was my revenge. But even without me, if she had transmigrated to this point in time, she still wouldn't have been able to end up with Shen Wangshan anyway. She was at a loss. She truly regretted it. She had always known Shen Wangshan liked her, so she had always taken his kindness for granted. Later, when she married the emperor, she thought she would be happy. But life turned out far from what she had imagined. At least Shen Wangshan was there with her. Now Shen Wangshan was dead, and she was about to die too. She didn't know what she came back for. If there was a next life, she would definitely cherish Wangshan properly. Seeing that she kept silent, I lost my patience. When I left, she didn't even notice. The next day, Bai Xianyun hanged herself in the prison cell, clutching in her hand a ruby gilt filigree butterfly zantail hairpin that Shen Wangshan had retrieved for her. If I had been there, I would have definitely noticed that the hairpin was a pair with the one that had once fallen from Shen Wangshan's arms. It is just that this hairpin was already broken when it was retrieved back then. Hairpins usually come in pairs, and these hairpins were really like the two of them. Neither ended up with a good fate. I just hope in their next lives, those two will be bound together and stop bringing harm to others. I collected Bai Xianyun's body and buried her next to Shen Wangshan. My mother, Dianan Zanla, didn't understand what I meant. She just assumed I loved Shen Wangshan too much. My mother, Dianan Zanla's health didn't last 2 years. I took the child to sweep her grave. Of course, I wouldn't take the child to sweep Shen Wangshan's grave. He doesn't deserve it. I haven't forgotten that he tried to poison me and the child together. Wu Wang left me many medical books. I won't be bored from now on. I wonder how she is doing over there, Mother. I snapped back to reality, looking at the little one, and everything felt at peace. These days are so wonderful. Milele side story. My name is Milele. The day I was diagnosed with ALS, the system appeared. It said as long as I completed the Vilinus's plotline from the novel I read yesterday, it could possibly make me recover. I agreed, but the task is so hard. I was born into the Mai family that has practiced medicine for generations, and my parents adored me. I really can't bring myself to harm others. Maybe the Vilinus in the novel couldn't bring herself to do it either. That is why they needed an outsider like me to push the plot forward. Unfortunately, I couldn't do it either, so I decided to give up the task. I became friends with the female lead, and had a great relationship with the male lead. The Emperor, I realized I had fallen for the male lead. I was very content with these days. The incident happened so suddenly I was framed for poisoning, and the male lead imprisoned me in Huafa Temple. The male lead died not long after. The Empress suddenly came over. She looked at me, laughing heartily. "You're back too. So what if you made him fall in love with you? You're still crushed under my feet." I looked at her in shock. She couldn't kill me, so she just left some boastful words and walked away. After she left, the system appeared. Host failed to complete the mission. Plot completion rate is 7. System is about to detach, wishing the host a pleasant life. I was dazed, thinking I would be stuck here forever, until I met Lu Yushuang. Like me, she was a transmigrator who encountered the system. Unlike me, she dared to love and hate. What I didn't expect was that she would poison Shen Wangshan Den No. I should say she fed him poison. What I also didn't expect was that she gave me the ticket home. Back in modern times, I found her. Unlike what I thought, there weren't many people coming to demand money from her. On the contrary, many people came to thank her. I asked around, and found out that she had donated all the money she borrowed. Her body wasn't buried the way I said either, because many people crowdfunded to hold a grand funeral for her. "Look, so many people remember you." Thinking of her last moment, she was crying so sadly. I wanted to tell her I'm fine, and thanks to her, I've already arrived home. Too bad she can't hear me anymore. I hope she has smooth sailing ahead and enjoys wealth and glory.